All right, so welcome everybody to this session. This is how to segment your list to get better results from your emails. What I'd like you to do is let me know the struggles that you're having with marketing, any kind of marketing. You don't need to limit it to just email. Go ahead and ask questions and use the question box, use the Q&A box. I'm monitoring both of them. And also do me a favor and let me know that you can hear me well. Go ahead and raise your hand to let me know that you can hear me well. Jim's first one, and hey Jim, good to have you with us. Terrence is here, Kevin and Anna, great. Now something else I want to make sure that you do is participate in the polls. This is an interactive session, the best we can make it. So when I do run another poll, make sure you answer it. Let's make it a participants event. And by the way, if during the course of the event and you're looking to ask a question or make a comment, the Q&A and chat boxes are down on the bottom of the screen. If you don't see them, move your mouse to the bottom of the screen, and that will reveal the toolbars that allow you to ask questions and have comments. By the way, also, let me know what city you are joining me from. When someone enters something new in the chat box, I get a little orange flashing light. Let me know what city you're joining us from if you're joining me live. All right, and so I see people are using the chat and the Q&A. That's awesome. So Jim says, great to be here. And Thorsten wins. Yeah, you win the chance to watch the rest of the webinar, Jim. Kevin's here from Fort Lauderdale. Jim's here from Kissimmee. Angeline is here from Dallas. We used to live in the Dallas area, actually, so great to have you here. And hey, everybody, here's my ask. It is that you share my emails and share the social media posts. You'll get an email that thanks you for attending this session and gets you access to replays of this and other events. There are also polls in there. I do plan to do a live demo in a few minutes. Also, I'd like you to like my social pages. Here's the rationale behind it. You know, not everybody has an opportunity to sit on a webinar and be at the live event and ask questions. So I would like for you to share the emails you get with people that you know, enable them to also take advantage of what you learned. And as far as the social media posts, I have a very big following. And so if you share my posts, that of course, it will help increase my exposure, but more than that, it helps establish you as a credible source of great information. That's part of the beauty of social media, is that when you are sharing other people's content that you trust, it makes you a credible resource too. So there's definitely a bilateral benefit. And so, and by the way, if you haven't already liked my social pages, please go ahead and do that. I'll show you 6 of the social channels that we are most active in a few minutes. All right, so this is how to segment your list to get better results from your emails. So welcome to the session. You know, honestly, one of the most common questions I hear about email marketing is how to improve opens and clicks. And you probably realize that nobody makes money based on opens. It's really all about the click. And while there are a variety of factors that go into improving your results, sending targeted emails can have a huge result on your results, meaning having a huge result on your ability to make more money. It starts with segmenting your list or grouping like contacts together so that you can send the most relevant information possible. The truth is that everybody is different, right? People have different needs and wants and interests with the information that's being sent to them. So it's important to keep that in mind. Targeted emails, relevant emails are super important. So let me give you a look at a few stats on why this is so. One study shows that 21% of people unsubscribe from emails because they're not relevant. Another 52% of consumers are likely to switch brands if a company doesn't personalize communications. I also want you to know that emails that are personalized show 6 times higher transaction rates. That's a big number, isn't it? And also, I want you to think about the fact that gaining a new customer can be up to 25 times more expensive than doing more business with an existing customer. And sending timely, relevant emails that people are actually interested in is a great way to keep people engaged with you. In turn, it helps to build relationships so people will be more inclined to keep coming back and doing business with you, and maybe even refer you to their friends. And now that I know, of course, that you're already strapped for time and resources, so the idea of segmenting your list may seem a little bit intimidating and maybe even time-consuming, but I'm here to tell you it's not. So let's take a look at the agenda for today. I'll be talking about some basic strategies to segment your list. Then I'll talk about how to get subscribers to self-segment so you don't have to do it manually. And last but not least, I'll talk about some data and tools that you can use to segment your list and make sure you're sending the most relevant emails. My name's Countess. I've got 40 years as a marketer, and I'm in my 20th year helping businesses of all sizes grow as an independent consultant. Prior to that, I spent a long time at corporate America. I was a senior marketing executive at 3 Fortune 100 companies. You may recognize the names Marriott, Motorola, and Caremark, which is now part of CVS. For the last 19 years, I've been managing director of the Countess Group. We help businesses just like yours gain an unfair advantage over their competition with targeted marketing. Well, I said celebrate because we are celebrating our 20th year. We had our 19th birthday just last week. And as I mentioned, I've got 40 years in marketing, all aspects. I helped businesses big and small target their marketing, generate more leads, close more business. I actually handled some crisis marketing campaigns for several big companies, credit card fraud, disaster relief, just about anything that you need to market your business, we can help you with. So, are you ready? If you are, then let's go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, we've got 3 things to cover. The first is basic strategies to segment your list. And then I'll get into these other 2 areas. So in order to come up with the right segmentation strategy for your contacts, you really want to think about what's most beneficial to them. People are always thinking to themselves, hey, what's in it for me? And not every message is going to be relevant to every subscriber. So think about the interests that people will have with your products and services and programs or even content. Think about the types of content and information that will make sense for your business or organization and your audience to receive. You want to make sure you're sending relevant information to the right people. So it's important that you understand that all of your subscribers are different. They're at different stages in the buying process and simply have different needs from you. You basically want to take contacts and split them into different lists or segments, so when you're ready to send your next targeted email, you can send it only to that group. Any past data you have is going to be beneficial in this, but there are some things I'll talk about later that will help you collect details or information on what they are interested in. So let's take a look at some common segmentation strategies that you can think about. One thing you can segment by is the actions or behaviors that your contacts and customers take. Their actions can tell you a lot about what they're interested in, and there are a few aspects to this. First, you can think about the actions that people may take from your email campaigns, the emails they open, and the links they click. If they open an email on a specific topic, you might put them in a list based on that topic. If they click to read more on a topic or make a purchase, you certainly know that they're interested. And if they don't open or take action, it can be an opportunity to target with something completely different. With behaviors and actions, it's also important to think about the products or topics they've shown interest in other areas. And that includes purchases and donations they've made. Along those same lines, think about whether they are a prospect, a customer, a repeat customer, or maybe even if you consider them a VIP customer or a subscriber. All of these behaviors can help you segment your list and determine the types of messages that you could send. The next strategy to consider is the demographics of your audience. Think about whether there are certain groups of people that you'll want to create based off of things like age or gender or income or marital status. For example, a realtor will probably want to consider a client's income so they can target with the right homes or rental properties. They might also consider age in the approach to how they market as well. Someone who is retired is probably looking for something different than someone who's in their 20s or 30s, right? Another example is if you have a sports store. You might consider income and even gender to target people with the right sporting equipment and apparel information. And if you're in the B2B realm, business to business realm, offering services, yearly revenue and even industry can play a role in how you might segment. So you can promote the right services to potential clients and get the right message based off of their industry. The next strategy is psychographics, which have a lot to do with your audience's lifestyle. This segmentation strategy works well for those of you who have niche markets where things like quality and brand recognition are way more important than price. For this strategy, you can think about things like their interests or hobbies or social status or personality type or attitudes or values. One example for segmenting by psychographics is if you were a shoe store who sells shoes for a variety of different lifestyles and activities, you could potentially segment people based off of their social status and even interests to create the right segments to market to. And the last one is geographic. For this, you want to think about where your current and potential customers are located. This is also something to think about if you have a physical location or even multiple locations that customers will need to visit. For example, if you own an ice cream shop in multiple cities, you'll potentially want to separate messages to people at each location. If one of your locations needs a boost in sales, you might send a special message to people around or who have visited that location with a special discount or event to bring them in. If you segment based off of different locations, you may also want to adjust your messaging to adjust for cultural differences or even interests. To segment based off of geography, you can use zip code, city, state, county, community, or even country. Now, for many of you, it's important to think about how you might use a combination of these strategies. Remember, you want to send the information that's most relevant to your audience. So, depending on your business or organization setup, you may need to think about which combination of these strategies would be most relevant to your own audience. So let me talk about a couple of examples of these segmentation strategies combined. If you're a real estate agent, you might use a combination of demographic, geographic, and behavioral information to segment your list. You may have segments of new home buyers based off of different income levels. And if you target based off of the communities or school districts they want to live in. Make sense? Now, if you are a restaurant who has multiple locations, you might segment based on behaviors as well as geography. You might create segments of people who you know are interested in your weekly special emails as well as the locations. Plus, you can create segments of those interested in your catering services for each location based off of actions they've taken in the past. All right, so let's move along. Let's talk about some time-saving ways to segment your list. I know for a lot of you, sitting down and segmenting your list can seem very time-consuming, but when you can get your contacts to segment themselves, you'll be able to save a lot of time and effort. After all, time is money, isn't it? And this is where the idea of self-segmentation comes into play. You can ask your new or existing contacts to choose what information they want to receive, and then collect information to help you segment your list. There are a couple of methods that I'll talk about. I like to start at the top when someone first joins your list. Okay, I'm going to look for a show of hands here. How many of you out there are using a sign-up form on your website? Raise your hand. And remember, the raise your hand tool is down at the bottom of the screen. If you don't see it, just move your mouse down to the bottom, and that will reveal the raise hand toolbar. So it looks like Terrence and Kevin and Anna and Jessica and Virginia, you're all using the sign-up forms. That is awesome. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. That's one of the ways that you can get people to self-segment. And here's something else about it. This can be a great opportunity to gain more information about your subscribers. It's where you can ask them what kind of content they want to receive from you. And if you're using Constant Contact, and I know quite a few of you are, you can add multiple email lists to your sign-up form. They can choose to sign up for one or all of them. And remember, you want to keep that form as short as possible, so only add 3 or 4 lists for them to choose from. You don't want your sign-up process to be overwhelming. You can always collect more information later on. And by the way, on this note, let me share with you something that many people don't know. What they don't realize is if they're using a tool like MailChimp, which happens to be a pretty good tool. If they're using MailChimp, when people sign up for multiple email lists, they get charged for every list they're on. That may seem a little odd to you. Seems odd to me too. But what happens then is, let's say you have a list of 500 people and someone decides to sign up for 3 or 4 more lists. Now your count goes up to 503 or 504. You're getting charged every time somebody adds themselves to another list or you add them to another list. Constant Contact does not do that. If they sign up with an email address, you're only charged for the one email address. It doesn't matter how many lists they're on. All right, so this is for existing contacts to collect valuable information that helps you segment your list. In this case, you'll want that to ask people to update their profile with you. Now, these are people that are already on your list. They're receiving an email from you. Down at the bottom of your email, people have an opportunity to update their profile. so they can decide what lists they want to be added to. The nice thing about using lists on your forms in Constant Contact, whether it's the initial sign up or the updated profile form, is that your contacts are automatically added to those lists when they update their profile. And then, if you feel you need to collect other pieces of information to help you segment, the update profile option is still beneficial. Maybe later on you want to collect their zip code or the city, which will allow you to segment based on those fields later. To get your contacts to update their profile, I suggest just sending them an email that asks them to do it. It's also a best practice to make that the sole focus so they won't get distracted by other information. This one's great too, because when someone clicks a link in your email, you'll know they're interested in that topic. In this example from Southside Cycling, they sent this email to promote their cycling club to their unsegmented general interest list. They included a button for people to find out more. And when people click, they're taken to a page on the website with more information about the club. And then behind the scenes, they're automatically added to a cycling club prospects list in Southside Cycling's account. And this is really valuable to Southside Cycling because they know that people who are part of the club end up spending more than people who haven't joined. And this allows them to begin sending more information about the cycling club to this list of contacts to further promote the club. For those of you who don't know how to start segmenting your list, or you don't have a lot of contacts, or maybe you do have a lot of contacts, this is a great opportunity to start segmenting your list without a ton of effort. Now, just curious, how many of you currently send an email newsletter that includes a few different topics? Go ahead and raise your hand. Virginia and Kevin, yeah, there are probably more. And by the way, I can put your hands down for you. You don't have to. So great, it's several of you. Well, click segmentation is great to implement in this scenario. You can send a newsletter that includes a link for each topic to read more or to purchase your product or whatever it is. And then when a subscriber clicks on a link, they'll be added to that respective list. Then you can send focused messages to each of the individual lists. In this particular example, they could send follow-up emails to those interested in website redesign. That means promotions about their web design service and other valuable content on optimizing the client's website. For those who just click on a link to read more on the second article, they could send additional info to just those people about their social media management services, as well as the benefits of using social media for their small businesses. You could create an email like this to segment your list based off of the topics or products or services that people may be interested in. Include buttons for each of those different options and enable click segmentation. And just remember that with this tool, that you'll need to direct people to a web page. In this case, they direct them to a page to sign up for the type of class that they're interested in, along with information about the class. Okay? The yoga studio, for instance, can then send additional supporting information on each of the classes, what to expect, and how to get the most out of the classes that they're interested in. So these three options that I just talked about will allow you to segment your list without a ton of effort from you. And you can set each of these up in just a few minutes. When you add lists to your sign up and update profile forms, people will automatically be added to the lists that they choose. These forms can also be used to collect other details that will allow you to segment your list. You could collect information through standard fields, or create your own custom questions. And don't forget about click segmentation tools, where contacts click in an email is valuable information to either begin segmenting your contacts or further segment your mailing list if you've been doing it for a while already. I use click segmentation also to add people to autoresponders so that once they get added to a list, they can automatically go into a sequence of emails that are related to their interests. All right, so now let's talk about how to use existing data and tools to send relevant emails to your subscribers. In order to get started segmenting, you're either going to need to find out the information you want or look at any existing data you have on your contacts. I just want to ask you, how many of you initially uploaded your list of contacts that you exported from another tool? Go ahead and raise your hand. If you took contacts from another tool, exported them out of that tool, and then imported them into someplace else. Jim and Kevin and Jessica for sure, and I see others as well. So why do I ask that question? What I want to mention is that many of these programs have a lot of details that are stored about each of your contacts. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people remove those details that are stored about each of your contacts. That doesn't make sense. Don't remove that info, because the more data you have about those contacts, the better you can segment your list. Also, if you think about other places that you might have information stored about your contacts, you can upload a spreadsheet with updated contact information, and then it'll update the contacts in your account. Plus, you can easily add in custom fields to your account that will help you further segment your list. While I'm on this train of thought, how many of you, show of hands now, how many of you found out about this webinar from Eventbrite? Go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, I see a few of you have. And the reason that I asked that question is that I put a special code in my database that tells me where people have found out about these events. In fact, also on that note, let me go ahead and ask this question, which is right here. So go ahead and answer this question. This poll is, how did you find out about today's event? Well, and click as many as apply. So if you learned about this event from a few different sources, go ahead and let me know that. Come on, let's bring the poll forward and bring it front and center. We don't want people just tuning in and then walking away and checking email. So go ahead and answer this with as many as are relevant. How many of you, how did you find out about today's event? Was it an email from Constant Contact? Was it an email from me? Was it Constant Contact's website, or was it someplace else? Awesome. Okay, thank you for that. Let me reset the poll here. Okay, awesome. Good. All right, so let's move along. Now, I also want to mention to you that there are integrations that you can use directly with Constant Contact, integrations that can help you sync contacts and data to segment your list. One example of that is that I use Eventbrite and Zapier and Constant Contact, and I sync things back and forth. And so that's an easy way for me to have people who found out about events on Eventbrite to get dropped into my Constant Contact account, and they get some special fields tagged so I know where they came from and what their interests are. Another example, there are integrations with Shopify and WooCommerce if you have an e-commerce store. And these integrations in particular will create segments by the types of customers they are. First-time repeat, best customers, and more. And there are a lot of other integrations that you'll find under the Integrations tab in your Constant Contact account that will help you sync your contacts. So be sure to take a look at them because they can save you a lot of time too. If you would like a personalized demo, I'd be happy to do that for you. Just send me an email. I'll respond with a way for you to sign up on my calendar for a quick demo. No charge. I want to simply teach you how to do a better job of marketing your business. All right, so let's move on from here. I do want to share a few other ideas for you on how to segment your list and the types of targeted emails that you might consider. One is when someone has had a recent interaction or makes a purchase, it really is a good opportunity to follow up with relevant information. And in some cases, you might ask for feedback or even share onboarding information. And this scenario in particular is great to use with email automation tools to help you simplify the process. In addition, you can use the segmenting tool I talked about to find the unengaged contacts for a specific period of time. So you could then target them with a special win back message to try to catch their attention. Try something completely different with them. These are people that maybe didn't open an email from you in the last several months. Constant Contact has a way that you can identify easily who those people are and then try to send them a win-back message. You'd be surprised at how well that works. Now, along the same lines, you can use it to find your most engaged contacts based on anyone who's clicked over a period of time. You could send them messages to thank them and reward them, or maybe reward them by giving them a sneak peek at some new products that you have coming out. One thing I do want to mention is that when you've been doing email marketing for a while, your segmentation and your targeting strategies may evolve. You may need to do more segmentation for better targeting, and you will be collecting data along the way based on your contacts' activity with your emails to help you with that list. The Segments tool can certainly help you utilize that data to create the segments to target. And these are just a few ideas, but the ideas for targeted emails and segments are truly endless. It's also important to remember that the idea behind segmenting your list is to send the most relevant information possible to your contacts. This is going to increase the chances of them paying attention and actually reading your emails, which improves your email marketing results. So when you're ready to send an email campaign, you'll want to choose the appropriate contact list or segment on the schedule page. That's how you send targeted emails. And think about the segments you create and the content that's going to be relevant to each of them. And not just promotional information, but think about the relevant content that provides value. For example, if you have a group of contacts that are interested in product A, you can send them information that helps them to see success with product A and even how to maintain it. You can utilize emails that you create and schedule as you need. And for any content that doesn't expire, think about using your segments with automated emails to save you even more time. I see a lot of people using click segmentation and other tools, but not a lot of people actually following through to send relevant information to their lists or segments. Recently, I took a look at one of my customers who sends large, general newsletter type emails as well as targeted relevant campaigns. And this particular customer is using click segmentation to learn what people are interested in and then following up with relevant, focused emails on that subject. And here's a sample of email results from this one customer for their open rates. On the left are the open rates for the general emails, and then on the right are the open rates from 3 of the targeted email campaigns they sent. Now, if we take a look at their click rate on the far right, we can see the same thing happens when they send relevant targeted emails. The click rates are better as well. So even though the targeted lists are much smaller, they're actually performing better in both the opens and click-throughs, as well as other metrics such as unsubscribes. I also want to note that when I started looking at the stats for the other customer accounts who also send targeted emails, I also see those emails significantly outperform the general emails too. So don't be afraid of sending that targeted and focused follow-up information, because it does make a difference. So at this point, I want to start to wrap up so I can get to the Q&A session. But before I do, I want to recap a few things. First, it's important to start by determining the types of topics of relevant emails you'll want to send. And this will help you to determine which segmentation strategy you'll want to use. And this will also help to ensure you're sending information that keeps people engaged and taking action from your emails. Next, make sure you implement the 3 self-segmentation options that I mentioned earlier. These are going to save you time and allow you to collect information that helps your segmentation. And remember, you can use lists on your form to allow people to choose the type of content they want to receive right from the beginning of their relationship with you. Also, you can use the update profile form that's at the bottom of the screen on an email to collect information from your existing subscribers. You can send them an email that focuses on asking them to update their profile with you. And finally, you can use click segmentation in your emails, because when people click on a link, you know they're interested in that topic, that product, or that service. And the last thing I want you to remember is that all of the data you collect in the self-segmentation options and over time with your emails is going to help you improve your strategy. That segments tool within Constant Contact allows you to combine pieces of information to create the right groups that you can target with the right information. And if you leave here today and do only one thing, make sure you use that click segmentation tool. And if you need help, ask me. That will give you a great start at segmenting your list without a ton of effort from you. Just remember to send targeted, relevant information to the lists you create to help you improve your results. All right, let me take a quick break here, because I've got a question to ask you. So let me go ahead and pull that up. So bear with me for just a sec. Let me go ahead and ask you this poll question. And the question is, in May, I'll be opening a live membership-only private marketing class. And members will be able to have live conversations with me, receive special materials. I have so much information I could share. You'll get access to special events, receive discounts to our workshops, and more. Let me know if you're interested in learning more. Just go ahead and answer yes or no. So I'll wait till we get some more responses. We've got about half of you that have answered so far. So let me leave this up there and give you a chance to find the poll and then answer the question. And if you don't see the poll, move your mouse, bring the webinar front and center. Don't be checking your emails. Okay, go ahead and answer. We've got a few more people that we need to get some answers from. And it looks like we had one answer in the chat in the Q&A as well. Okay. One thing I want you to remember always is that more than any other marketing tool you've got, email gives you a 42-to-1 ROI. What does that mean in plain English? It means that you can expect for every single dollar you spend on your email marketing campaign, you should expect 42 back. So if you spend $100, you should expect 42 back. If you spend $1,000, you should expect 42,000 back. No other marketing tool delivers those kinds of results. And one of the stories I like to tell is about this promotional specialties company that's in Daytona Beach, Florida. When they came to one of my workshops a few years ago, they told me that their annual sales were $50,000 a year. No matter what they did, and they weren't using email at the time, no matter what they did, they were getting $50,000 a year in sales. And then they started using AdWords. They were using Google AdWords, and I said, well, how did that work out? And they said, no ROI. It was like flushing money down the toilet. So I suggested they start using email marketing. And so they started using Constant Contact. And not long after they started using it, they sent me a video. So I'll let them tell you in their own words how that all worked out for them. Ready? Here we go.
Hi, I'm Pamela Fay, co-owner of Imprints for Less, founded in 2010. We provide over 1 million products with your logo on them. Everything from bags, pens, cups, anything you can imagine. In our first year, we averaged $50,000 in sales. Business growth was slow in the first 3 years, and in 2013, we started using Constant Contact. With the help of Countess, our business tripled almost immediately. Today, we average over $500,000 in sales annually. Everyone at Imprints for Less would like to thank Constant Contact and Countess. Thanks, Ken.
So that by itself is a pretty impressive story. I think you'll agree. In 2019, though, they hit $700,000 in sales. They stopped using AdWords when they started using email marketing. And they grew from 50,000 to 700,000 in sales. And so for this client of ours, email returns $300 back for every dollar they spend. Can you imagine that? That's like amazing. If you're not using email marketing yet, it's very, very inexpensive. It costs just $20 a month with no contracts to start. If you're not ready to even spend $20, I would wonder if you're in business, but you can start with a free trial if you want. Go to www.completelyfreetrial.com. And by the way, if you go to that URL and the system says, hey, you've already got an account, use a different email address. And that will enable you to start a new trial, fresh. And if you don't want to do that, just contact me and I'll get one set up for you with whatever email address you want. Hey, email marketing is just one of the many tools you have at your disposal to market your business. And my encouragement to you is this. This is the time right now, during this situation we find ourselves in, where we have an economic decline. And it's very clear that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Things are going to get worse before they get better because businesses are finding that they're just challenged with marketing. They're not sure what to do. This is the time for you to step it up and start getting the word out about your business more than ever before, because your competitors who don't market are going to start falling by the wayside. So while you can, get in there and start marketing your business more than you ever did. I have 3 action items for you to do this week. 3. Here's number 1. Review your marketing and figure out if it's delivering the results that you need to succeed. Number 2, schedule a consultation with me. Sign up on our website. There's a button there that allows you to schedule that free consult and sign up for more of our events. Step number 3, sign up for the tools you need to succeed. As you look at the screen, you'll see that's a picture of one of the pages on our website. The button on the extreme right-hand side where the red arrow is pointing is the one that says Offers. And at the top of that page, you see there's a video there. I encourage you to watch that 3-minute video. And down below, you'll see, I think there are 5 different offers that require no credit card. An offer to help you create videos, if you're at all inclined to want to do that. You can sign up for Keep, which is the CRM system that I use in addition to my Constant Contact account. And by the way, also, Keep has a special offer that you can only get through me with $0 for your first month, and then just $99 a month after that. And it's a month-to-month. You don't have to sign a contract. I suggest you try it out and see how well it works for you. There are some other offers up there too, from Zoho and Visita and a few other as well. They're all great products. We only market to businesses who follow us, and we only select top-tier companies to partner with. Okay, we're going to go to Q&A next. If you're not sure where the Q&A or chat buttons are, move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen. That will reveal the black bar where the arrow is pointing to now. And throw in some questions and comments. Let me know what you thought. Give me your thoughts for sure. My name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help companies just like yours gain an unfair advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do targeted marketing. And we are a full service consultancy. So if you need help with any of these things, maybe you just don't have the time to do it on your own, let us do it for you. Why might you hire us? It's because we have a team of 30 people with over 40 years of experience. So we can coach you or we can do it for you. I promised earlier I'd let you know where we are on social media. We are every place on the internet: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us just about anywhere. I encourage you to follow us. And as I mentioned earlier, my ask of you is share my emails. If you had unsubscribed from my list at some point, go to my website. We have a pop-up form there that allows you to re-sign up for our list so that you don't miss out on these events and these offers and free resources that we have. Share my emails with people you know. Share my social media posts. That will give you more exposure and position you as a leader in what you do. And like my social pages for sure. And finally, make sure you absorb and practice what I've shown you today. And call me if you have any questions. We'll get through all of this. We'll get through a challenging time by working together. And by the way, until April 30th, 7 days a week, I'm doing 30-minute long live events, 11:30 in the morning, US Eastern Time. So make the adjustment for where you are on the planet. We always have people attending from different parts of the world, so make the adjustment. It's 11:30 in the morning, US Eastern Time. That's 4 hours behind GMT at this time of the year. You can visit our website. It's thecountessgroup.com. And we'll also be posting replays up on YouTube as well as our website. So we're going to go to Q&A, and as we do that, let me put this slide up. This is a screenshot of another page of our website. thecountessgroup.com, where you can find replays, upcoming events, free trials. You can schedule that consultation with me, and more. All right, so I'm going to look at the other screens here and make sure that we get all of your questions answered. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. And let me just put one final poll up there. Go ahead and answer that if you would. Let me drag these other windows over. As I mentioned, I've got 3 windows that are open. Okay, let's see, we've got them all. Okay, so let me go to the Q&A. And Terrence asks, can you export your list from Constant Contact into Keep? Yes, absolutely you can. You would export it as a CSV file, comma, separated values file, and take all that data and then import it into Keep. And you could take it from any CRM and import it to Keep as well. You can take info from a CRM and import that into Constant Contact. It's very flexible. Anna says, yes, I'm interested in the membership stuff. I will send you a link. Actually, what I'll do, Anna, is I'll send you an automated email. I'll attach you to a list segmentation list, and you'll be able to attend. Virginia asks, says first, thanks for the presentation. What's the price of a consultation? You can find that on our website. Go to the button that says schedule time with me, and there's a menu. And depending on how long you want that consult to be, the pricing varies. I think we have it set up as it's $99 for a half hour. I think it's $175 for an hour, $350 for 2 hours. But go ahead and check out our website. That's where we have everything listed. Jim says, in Constant Contact, when I click on a link, it does not show me the option to add them to a list. Yeah, the way you do that, Jim, is when you have them, when you create that link, it will give you an option for quick segmentation. If you need help with that, give me a buzz and I'll walk you through it. I'll do a screen share. Let me invite you to attend another one of our events. We are doing them every day until the end of April, 7 days a week. And we have webinars like these that we do every Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock US Eastern Time. If you go to our website, thecountessgroup.com, go to the Seminars and Webinars tab. When you watch this, it may have changed to the Events tab, but it's definitely one of the menu bars. We have at least 10 of our upcoming events posted there, so I do hope you'll join us. And I want to thank you for joining me for this session. I do look forward to having you attend another one of our upcoming events. Don't forget to schedule a consultation. Don't forget to check out those offers. Thanks for joining me during this session, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Bye for now.